And we are live on the twitch.tv/Xisuma playing the Hermitcraft on a Sunday evening, which was not the plan. My plans changed. Wait, there's another beacon somewhere around here. And I thought, what am I going to do in my evening now? Ooh, I've got to watch out for that powder snow, right? We're on top of snow layers, though. And I thought, you know what, we're going to do a live stream. There should... Oh, dang it, there's like a bug where the See? There's a bug, told ya. Okay. Yeah, that's where we're going. We're going down here. Bananas in chat from 4Gil, May School, Catastrophic EXE, Salitro, Admirari, thank you for the bananas. Lets me know that we're live on the twitch.tv/Xisuma, as I said. Said that already, saying it again. Oh, why does it look so weird? It's because I'm inside the beacon beam, isn't it? So we're going to continue where we left off last time. Just going down to dig a hole for the slime farm, essentially. You know, maybe we'll do some bone block placing over at the underground elytra tunnel project thing. Might do some of that too. And this might be a shorter stream than normal, I don't know. I used to stream as much as I could, and I do enjoy streaming, I love it every single time. But I've also been trying to make a little more time for myself lately, and that's actually been like quite good, I feel. Just to have a bit more breathing space or whatever. But it's also a case of like, what do I do with my time? Because I feel like having a plan is important. I don't really like sort of like just sitting down and aimlessly watching Netflix or something, as an example, right? So I thought, oh, I think I'll stream then. And crack on with what we're doing. Planning on any more Clash of the Creator events, really enjoyed those. I will not be organising any more, I don't think. We were supposed to do one more, and we haven't. And I don't know entirely what that means for future events, but yeah, we were due to do one more. Right, so this here, I realised, is an area that we're not going to dig around or dig out because it's more blocks, and it's above the portal where we... Now I think about it, we could have things spawn there if we wanted them to spawn and jump off the edges and fall down, but we're not doing that. I think I might just fill in some of this roof as well for the sake of it. And we've got an Evil X. It's SallyAnn123 here for 78 months. Thank you so much, SallyAnn. Appreciate what you do. Saying, oh, bonus stream, a fab ending to an awesome day. Thanks, Xisuma. I'm glad you had an awesome day. I had an alright day. I had actually quite a lazy day, really. What did I get up to? Saw family, spent my morning just cycling, and I woke up late. I had terrible sleep the night before, and apparently you can't actually, air quotes, catch up on sleep. Right, like you can't get back the sleep you've lost. But you do tend to sleep more the next day, right? And dang, I had just a really long lay-in, all that kind of stuff. Why did I start talking about that? Also, we have a new Patreon signing up to play on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. Sea Sky, thank you for your patronage. It is appreciated. For those of you that don't know, you can use Patreon. You can also use Twitch tier 3 subscription to join the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. I've got a massive delay on my stream preview. It is like a good 20 seconds behind, isn't it? Or this isn't working. Why would that? No, it is working. It's just extremely delayed. Well, God. I'm going to refresh that and see if it can be better. Hey, Rage Jex, thank you for 2 months. Randy Nicole 2002, thank you for 85. It's getting closer to the 100 months. Yes. A year and a bit to go. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's do this. I still seem to have, like... Yeah, it's definitely short of the delay now. A pretty big delay on my Twitch stream. Usually they're only seconds in it. Well, anyway, I did have something I was going to say. I can't remember what it was anymore. Couldn't have been that important then, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. I was just thinking, because it's... Actually, no, it wouldn't influence it. This is an even... It's a circle built on an even block grid, right? I was just thinking that might mean you have a block sticking out for the center, or you'd have like one either side. Doesn't make any difference. D. Lee B, thank you for the Prime. Q1611, thank you for gifting 5 subs. To Nubella, Def Builds, Curl Product, Kazel, and Igrams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Always appreciate the gifting of the subs, we do. Be sure to say thanks in chat if you heard your name being read out. Hello, thank you for 2 months. And oops, my Apollo cheese has gifted a sub to Doombot. Thank you for gifting the sub, and Doombot, be sure to say thanks in the chat. So what do y'all want to talk about today? Let me know. We're gonna dig this stuff up with this pick today. It's gonna be slow. I don't know how much of this I can tolerate. I wish we could instant mine it. I really do. The M1G, thank you for 3 months. Hey X, how's the day going? Finished the back of the mansion I was designing on a server I'm on, not to flex on Grian or anything. Alright. Thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate it. X, what is your opinion on peanut butter? I love peanut butter. That's the thing I was going to mention. I got to cook myself some chili hot dogs today. And yeah, it was really, really nice. Something like hot dogs though, they're just always like I like foods that are more like, you know, they got salads and vegetables in, because then you like eat a massive amount. It takes a while to eat, and it's like, you know, less calories. Whereas something like hot dog, you eat it so quickly, and it's just so many calories. But anyway, it was just super cool. It was like hot dog with like chili in it, and bits of bacon and cheese, and oh, it was really something. How do you go from peanut butter to hot dogs? Because the peanut butter reminded me of I was going to mention what I cooked today, because I cooked myself something a little bit special rather than get a takeaway, which I could have done. I had a meeting today, but it got cancelled. I just thought I'll cook myself something a little different. Did some hot dogs. X, thoughts on the legal system. The legal system, oh, God, they should make it illegal. Dun dun dun. Actually, I think that was the wrong that was the wrong sound effect. It should have been budumts, because that was a joke. You know, they should make it. They should make the legal system illegal. You know, do you get it? Do you understand? Am I making any sense? Probably not. Ali Callie, thank you for 4 months of support. The Black Knight 300, thank you for using the Prime subscription. We got Juna Chani 2100 with the Prime as well, saying, hey X, I'm working on my architectural thesis. Your streams help me go through the day. Thanks a lot. Cool, awesome. I'm glad they can help in some way. Architecture's super cool. Love learning about buildings and, you know, thinking about how they're made and the reasons why. You know, functionality, physics, aesthetics, all intersecting. What a cool topic, right? Hey X, thoughts on fish and chips? I'm about to make some, by the way. I of course mean throw the pre-made frozen stuff in the oven. Yeah, that won't be as nice as getting some fresh fish and chips, right? I'm not really a fan of fish and chips. I had some the other day just because, I don't know, I've just been trying all the different takeaways, right? And battered cod or battered anything is just disgusting. All that batter. I wish I'd have just scraped it off. Next time I have fish and chips, like, and it's not my choice, if I'm just gonna scrape all of that batter off because it's just so disgusting. Yeah. So like, it's weird. Fish and chips, everything British cuisine is so like plain and dull to me. Anyway, I didn't really want to talk about food again. It feels like every stream we just sit here and chat about food. Because I'm eternally hungry. Rimmer SDK, thank you for 5 months. 5 months and still learning something new and getting great entertainment. Love it. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my dude. Glad you're learning some things here. Xisuma Jeebus is hosting the download pre-party. Cool. If I knew what the download pre-party was, I would I'd have more of an insightful response. You know, at Download Festival, when I used to go back in the day, they used to have bands on in the tent on the Thursday, and I'm sure they didn't really like advertise it as much. It was a bit more of a sort of kind of I don't know, insider vibe or whatever. These days it's like pretty easy to find out like who's playing on the Thursday or whatever. But yeah, they would have like this little area that wasn't part of the main festival. It was part of the camping area, and they would have like bands playing on the days before where people arrived early. I've seen some really cool shows in those venues, but I'm going back, rolling back the years now. Rolling back the years. Miracles91 coming in with 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much for your generosity, my dude. Kega Inku, Nick Jima, Big Boy Steam, Jezagaya, Joe's Triple O, Care Smil, Isman1994, Cornelia Bergman, Kedchup, and Reesid. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Let's drink some water. I've got like a dry throat over here. Xisuma, did you get rickrolled by Discord? I did not. I did not get rickrolled on Discord. Neen Tart says X should start a food blog at this rate. I would like to do some sort of like photography, or you know, take some pictures of my dishes from time to time and share them. I have actually done that. I just never get around to actually sharing them. How many slime chunks am I digging out? We're digging out 4. And we're going with somewhat of an irregular shape, I guess. Well, that's just Instagram, says Fear Toady. Yeah, I was literally thinking of Instagram. You know, I hear jokes about people saying, oh, you know, like, people today taking pictures of their food and sharing it. You know what? I kind of, in a way, especially when I go abroad, like a food diary where you could look back on pictures of, I think it's a great thing. It's like you're preserving a little bit of the cuisine that you've enjoyed over time. I think it's cool. Do you like photography? Says Leah Kaya. You know, there's many things that I think are great, but they don't draw me in. Like, I don't get into it, right? But I'm always appreciate a good photograph, right? I understand that there's a skill behind taking a good photograph. What am I drinking? It's just water. Belle Stephen, thank you for 9 months. Twitch, baby right there. A baby was born on this day. X, did you watch Eurovision? If so, what song was your favourite? I did not watch Eurovision. I'm actually quite amazed at how popular Eurovision is. Like, I have no idea what it's like these days, but I watched it when I was a kid, when it was like, you know, you'd go visit relatives and there'd just be one television and everyone would just be in the family room together or whatever. And you'd be watching them and I used to just be like, oh, this is boring. The only viable foodie Instagram is Lord's Onion Ring Rating Account, says Neen Tarts. Onion Ring Rating Account, Well, Stephen! Gifting subs, thank you so much, my dude. Excuse me, mouth burp. Got a bit of that going on, have I? Ronnie Punk T, Jexica, Haystack, Vino Pops, Chris TV Hardcore. Y'all been gifted subs, so be sure to say thanks in the chat. Greatly appreciated. Also, any of my mods want to share any interesting questions from chat that I might miss? I write reviews on Google. My most popular photo is of a steak. 30,000 views on one photo. Pretty good for an amateur. Yeah, that's cool. How deep is this going? All the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. We could get down there. You know, when you're digging a hole, right, in this game, there's many different ways to do it. And for me, it was always about making another shape when I was digging a hole. And I'm referring to like old school Minecraft. I'm talking pre-making videos actually. I'm thinking specifically of the GeoMine server that I used to play on. And one of the things that I like to do was dig this one particular shape. And I think what we'll do is we'll start digging it now. Just to gonna go back a little bit. So this is like our baseline here, and the next one has to be one lower. I've also got to make sure I get this shape correct, because we don't want to go too far in this direction. It's like 3 blocks. So although we haven't gone to the bottom of the world, I would consider this row here is sort of like complete now, right? And then the next one, the next row in your hole goes down 1 more block. I used to just dig it out like this, and then you'd end up with this slope. I don't know why. I think it's just because you're breaking it down into smaller components that it feels more manageable. When it's like, rather than dig out the whole thing and see it as one thing, it's like you're just doing 1 row at a time or something. I shall also be in need. Actually, I think I'm going to be alright because I got shulker boxes. I decided to make a few more. Yeah, I was going to say I'll also be in need of some scaffolding to get out of here. Boomer, that streamer says, hey Xisuma, due to how much damage capitalism is causing IRL, have you ever thought about switching to socialism like Psycraft, or at least switching up the economic system? I mean, all this damage that capitalism is causing, right? But like, what about all this ability to communicate, like we are doing right now? What about the food you ate earlier in the day, and the car that you sat in, and the bus that you rode in? Like, I don't want to get into it today. I just, I don't really have a strong take on this stuff. I have this like scientific thing always in mind of like, go to the lab, you conduct A/B experiments, you create an environment where you can test to see what happens when you change the environment itself, when you change the variables involved in it. How does it play out? You know, we've only got one Earth, we've only got one here and now, and I used to listen to this idea that, you know, some people know all the causes of the problems and they've got all the answers. It's this ideology, it's that ideology. And over time I started to pay attention to people who had different ideas, listen to what they have to say, and I kind of think, you know, there's also like a lot of good. You can just take a negative perspective on what's going on in the world, or you can look at the positives too. There's always something bad happening. There'll always be lots of good things happening, and I think a lot of the good is quite invisible. We tend not to see how cooperative our existence is with one another most of the time. And there are many interesting, fascinating things going on, things to be excited about, and it all happens under this one system. But there's no way to know. There's no alternative system. Or should I say, there's no alternative way to test it, right? Because you can go, oh, well, we had this thing in that country, and it's like, well, all the countries of the world are interconnected and influence each other. So I don't have, like, strong feelings on it, because there's no lab in which to test. There's no true way to find out, right? Hopefully that answered your question. I've got a feeling it didn't. Hermitcraft is just Minecraft capitalism, to be honest, says Thinnick Fawn. I've had some really intelligent comments from people about how the economics of this server work, and you'd be surprised, people interpret it very differently. So, often seen as an opposite to capitalism, I had someone, I think they wrote an entire paper on how Hermitcraft was an anarchist system, right? And it's really clever, because when you think about it, are we capitalist, right? We have no written laws, we cooperatively exist in a world with no legal system, which is very like anarchist, right? And we trade with one another using a currency, using bartering sometimes. So I don't think it is capitalist, right? I think it's more anarchist. If it were capitalist, there would be institutions and organizations that control the trade and the currency. Yet there isn't. And there would be a legal system of laws. That doesn't exist on Hermitcraft. So you're hippies, says Starking. I'd say hippies are very different to anarchists. I feel like anarchism is one of those things that gets a bit of a bad rap. I think it tends to get an image of, like, destroy everything, let the streets burn, and that kind of, like, you know, anarchism, no rules. But it's not. It's more like, I think it's more like saying, hey, we're good enough. We've got, you know, good enough moral center. We have pragmatism. We can organize, coordinate, and deal with problems without having, like, centralized power systems of law. I think it's more like that. Depends on who you ask, but, like, that's me just trying to portray a more generous image. I'm not just trying to put something down for my own, you know, my own beliefs. I'm interested in understanding someone else's and portraying it in the best way possible for them. Like, if you're going to have an argument, if you're going to have a debate with someone, like, make the best case for their points, right? Lugar says, punk rock caused people to think of anarchy like that. Yeah, you know, I often see that kind of anarchism image tied to punk rock. I can see that. Anyway, looking at chat, we're getting so deep into the questions on the isms and the philosophy. I don't know quite where to go or what to say, really. so many different. Sorry, if I'm being quiet here, I'm just reading these comments. It's interesting. Capitalism is literally a system where the industry is controlled by private entities rather than the government. Capitalism, anarchism isn't a dichotomy. Yeah. You know, look, I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on any of this. It's just, like, you're talking about big ideologies that can be looked at from different perspectives and shaped up in so many different ways. I've heard people, you know, spin what they are and aren't in so many different ways. It's just, it's always just going to be a wild discussion. LeMayo, politics is not the best way to go on a Twitch stream. Well, you know, the problem is that a lot of political stuff gets talked about in a unreasonable kind of way, like a very heated way. And I'm not about that. I'm about being respectful, and as I said a moment ago, like when you have an argument, when you present two sides of a problem or an issue, like if you genuinely want to come to a resolution or some sort of enlightenment over it, you gotta present the best possible argument for both sides and respect that, you know, you might be wrong about the thing you're potentially trying to defend. So a lot of the time it doesn't go down like that. Like, politics gets nasty, and I have no interest in that aspect of it. What difference does it make the hermits are a big happy family, says Iograms? Yeah. I mean, it's just people are just like looking into how we play together and comparing it to, you know, some other ideologies or things IRL, right? Maybe it would be better just to come up with a newism. What is going on? Dang it, I'm pretty sure there's going to be like crazy spoilers up there. Maybe the better approach is to, rather than go, you know, Hermitcraft is capitalism, Hermitcraft is anarchism. The stream isn't ending. Okay, I'm just using that to block the spoilers, alright? Because I think... Oh my god, this is beautiful. Oh god! Tango! Thank you. Oh, it's gorgeous, Tango. They're gonna love it. Wait a minute, where's the portal then? God. The stream hasn't ended, peeps. I'm telling you now, it hasn't ended. In the hole? I just went there, Tango. Right. Let's, Oh god, I'm gonna die. Oh, dang it, I'm trapped in this nether... Oh, wait, there's the exit. Go on. Oh, oh. Yeesh. I'm back. Okay, apparently it is actually somewhere. Problem is I don't know where Tango is. Oh, he means in... I think I know where he means now. Okay, hang on. Let's fly up, back down. I think he's in the hub somewhere. God, this is confusing. Right, the stream hasn't ended. Quiet. Oh, right. Oh God, I'm flying. Okay, okay. Wow. Just saying thanks to Tango. Oh God! Oh. Oh, where am I? Oh. Oh. The end. Oh, it's the end. Okay, it's the end of the stream. Sorry, I got confused. Might as well throw that screen back up, right? No, I'm messing with you. Cool, we got here. Ah! That was a rude entrance, wasn't it? No! No! No, this is not good! Ah! And I'm away. Oh God! Oh God, I dropped down a bit. Ugh. Well, do I even have to kill Enderman? Oh, I think Tango's de-lurked himself, peeps. Spam Tango in chat. He's here. Lyricry says, well, can't an anarchist society also be capitalism? Does capitalism require a legal system? I'm too unintelligent to answer that. I got no idea. Choco Rip says, X, just one last question. Do you think the state should intervene in the economy? Oh my God. Let's talk about economics, peeps. God, you're going to love this talk about economics. I feel like of all the different things I've listened to about power systems, way to organize society, and yada yada yada, like decision making and power always ends up somewhere, and I'm more of a pragmatist, I think, is what I would say. It's like, you know, like the idea that all government is bad and government shouldn't intervene, I don't think makes much sense. It's more about, to me, like, what if you've got a very capable and decent government that can make great decisions, you know? Alright, so no government. It's in the hands of ordinary people now, or investors. I don't know quite how it works without government, right? It's in the hands of the wealthy then, who have the power and money to influence society. Well, who's to say they make better decisions than the government? It's... everything is unique and individual and about the context of the situation itself, who's involved, what decisions are they making, can we make better decisions. I kind of just land on that. And I've listened to so much stuff about this system, that system, and to me it's like, it always just boils down to that. You know, I've listened to, of late, like when I was younger, I listened to a lot of left-leaning stuff. Now I'm older, I tend to listen to a lot of right-leaning stuff because I've heard lots of left, and I heard this book recently that was like, you know, the old doctrine of the Conservative Manifesto from like the 60s or something, and it was all like talking down big government spending and stuff, and I was just kind of thinking, like, you know, on some level there is problems with government spending because it's linked to printing money, which causes inflation. But it's also like, you know, a government can make a decision and throw money away on something terrible. They can also, you know, do really good things too. And like in any field, if it's infrastructure, if it's social programs, like can the government put the right people in place to spend the money effectively? Sometimes the free market does it better. It just, to me, it just requires so much more context and nuance rather than a just oh, here's the answer, you know. And it worries me. It worries me because that's what a lot of the political conversation that you see, like, in, I don't know, political podcasting all the way up to politics on television in terms of Fox News and CNBC or wherever it is, where everything's kind of more in that like toxic direction, right? You know, you watch someone like Tucker Carlson, and if you pay attention to what he's telling you about something that's happened, but he's not telling you facts or letting you make up your own mind. He's sort of spoon feeding you the narrative or the opinion, right? And on the flip side, whoever's on CNBC, they do the same thing. And so I think it's quite destructive that things get always boiled down into simple ideologies. Oh look, Grian's over here. They get boiled... Oh, maybe Grian's moving the shulker. So yeah, they get boiled down to these simple ideologies that people get invested in emotionally. And yeah, someone is definitely doing something shulker related, I think. And I don't want to do too much spoilerishness, but where does that go? Does that go... that's sort of going in Doc's direction. The thing I'd say about that is, like, maybe use the never. At that point, maybe use the never. MSNBC says Skeleton. Yeah, I'm not 100% familiar with all the channels over there in America. But it's often a good example of the problem that I'm talking about. So then, like, our view of the world, I feel, and the way people talk about it gets really warped by this just simplistic way of seeing things through ideologies. I mean, as everyone here has probably watched some video on YouTube at some point, where it's like someone's gone to a convention where people are protesting for this thing or that thing, and maybe they've gone there as an antagonist, and you see people end up like shouting at each other about their ideology, and I feel like all of that's sort of created by the way the news delivers this information to you. And people just don't have like the skills to have proper conversations about this stuff because they're so emotionally invested in it, because you got the news kind of feeding it in a way where it's like, you know, you're right and the rest of the world's wrong, and it's always these people over here causing the problems. Then you go to a rally, you've never met any of these people before, you've probably got way more in common with them than you realise, and people end up at each other's throats. It's seeing stuff like those videos that made me want to understand more, because I didn't watch them like, yeah, this guy is spitting my truth. It was more like, oh, this is just disappointing how hostile and how people here can't get along. You seem to have very little faith in the average person's ability to form their own opinion. Realistically, the people you're talking about here are going to be chronically online, which doesn't represent everyone, says Failing New Bowley. Well, you know, what I would say to that is there are obviously different demographics, and one person obviously can't have a true insight to that. I do, you know, what I'm talking about I'll hold in line with the sort of negativity bias, right? Like, I am speaking to the negativity that I see. Maybe it's not as big as I think, right? Maybe just by me talking about it right now, I don't get the opportunity to sort of say what I've said before, which is that, you know, negative news travels, you know, faster and it's more grabbing, and so there's a lot of news media out there constantly, you know, sharing the worst of humanity, essentially. You see these videos go viral of people on aeroplanes screaming and shouting at each other, right? Like, it gives you a lot of negative bias that makes you think, oh, a lot of the world's like this. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's like a sliver, and it's just the sliver that rises to the top. But yeah, I'm not saying that people like can't come to their own opinions. Obviously, people can come to their own opinions. That's not a problem. Having an opinion on something is really easy. It's harder to assess how much you don't know about something sometimes, it seems, right? I mean, like, imagine, like, just for the average person hasn't deeply studied economics, capitalism, communism, right? And yet we will have very heated invested discussions in this stuff that can sometimes turn over into arguments. And yet, we don't, like, give enough credit to our own ignorances. Like what I was saying earlier about, like, not having a lab, not having the AB, the scientific method. We can't clone Earth and flip it over so one's capitalist and one's socialist. Like, you don't have that way of understanding things. Dunning-Kruger, yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect ties into what we're talking about here. We don't really form our own opinions, they get assigned to us. Be careful who you listen/follow, says Existential Gauss. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think it's best to subscribe those less as a statement and more of something for someone to think about. You're absolutely right. Like I see it in myself quite often that when you're watching someone or something, you're always like following a narrative. When you watch those explainer videos, it's very easy to actually there was I'm not sure if I want to talk about this or not because it involves someone who I know was pretty upset by this thing happening. Anyway, let's just say there was a bit of drama that went down that I caught wind of recently and stepped into a little bit. And like in discussing it, what I kind of realized is that even though I'm aware of it and I talk about it, I get sucked into the narrative trap where if you watch something and someone talk about it and it doesn't matter like how truthful and reasonable they're being, like the absence of alternative information can really like skew the conversation. So essentially something's happened, this person makes a whole bunch of really reasonable points, but then when you start to put it into the context of they're motivated by having a YouTube video, they've also left out important information, later on you look at it again and you realize, oh, like, you know, like the you can leave information out and obscure the picture. Like, I don't know. I didn't want to talk about it just because, like I said, it involves someone and they clearly didn't like it at all. So I don't really like want to add to it, but yeah, like I watched this video and I was like, okay, seems reasonable. And then it wasn't until after when it was being discussed that I realized like this video, like I've watched it in a vacuum. There's alternative ways to look at this, and it made me realize just again how the narrative trap is always there. Deep State takes too long to mine even with a beacon, says the Chaos Shaman. It does. This one just might be a lesson in where am I going to build my farms for the rest of the season, right? Like, slime farm at the bottom of the world. I think I also have to dig all the way up to get the... Oh, I can't remember if they changed it or not. Bucked says, I just don't get into politics. That doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. I just think that my one vote doesn't matter. I can understand that apathy. I'm quite apathetic these days. I do think that voting is important and that, you know, your vote does count for something, but it's like, it's a very small amount. Sometimes I feel like there are better ways to participate in society, like what you can do with your own actions, and sometimes that might be more powerful than voting, right? The real Gloctopus says, I don't have faith in people's ability to create their own opinions. Social media algorithms promote the content that confirms your beliefs. You get stuck in an echo chamber, and social media companies don't care because the longer you're on a platform, the better. And when you're eventually at each other's throats, you're going to be engaging even more over social media. I understand what you're saying. I'd express it with a little bit more context in a couple of points. Like, the whole, like, the company doesn't care thing, it's, well, companies are made up of people, and there potentially are people inside of it that do care. But, you know, that's a hard thing to know. Because that's like the bigger complex picture, right? You know, you experience YouTube by just, you know, seeing the interface and watching the content, but you don't see all, like, the people that work behind the scenes, the boardroom meetings, the decisions they make. It'd be very interesting if, like, that could be transparent for all to see. Slime farm at the bottom of the world. Band name calling it. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? America's system provably gives more power to some people's votes over others, so it's hard not to be apathetic, says Walker. Yeah. Yeah, it does. You know, like there's also can't remember. It goes as far back as Greece, where like democracy was invented, but the idea that like not every person should have a vote is also a peculiar thing. Like, not every individual's vote is the same as the next person, right? Like, some voters are more enlightened than others. I don't know. You know, I'm not in charge of anything. I'm not advocating for anything. These are just like interesting thought experiments to me. I've been on holiday from work for 9 days now. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow, says Bell Steven. Ah, it's always like that, but you'll go back, you'll get into it. The normal routine will come around again. But I hope you enjoyed your holiday, dude. Hey X, you're into metal. Have you heard of the band Red Fang? If not, check out the song Prehistoric Dog. You'll be an immediate fan. The Chaos Shaman, feel free to tweet it at me on Twitter. That's the way to get me into some music, you know. Just tweet it at me. When I get time to check through my tweets, I'll give it a spin, give it a listen. Tola Foff, thank you ever so much for the Prime. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I think not having a strong opinion on things make you more susceptible to be pushed around, says Yuda Saskai. Potentially, yeah. But like, is it a bad thing to be pushed around? Like, I don't have strong opinions on a lot of this stuff. But to me, it feels like, by not having a strong opinion on it, if I were put in a situation where my opinion really counted for something, I would know that I would really want to do my homework and my due diligence. And I think if you have a strong opinion, when you get the opportunity to enact part of your opinion, it's much easier for you to just go straight into it. You know? I feel like I need to stalk your Twitter mentions for some new good music, says Falling Nebulae. Or you could just follow my music blog. Although my music blog hasn't really, like, fallen into... I always want it to be about discovering, and I always just seem to end up, like, going to music I know I like, or, you know, some... Like, Korn are going to bring out another album soon, and I know I'll end up listening to it, and it'll just be same old Korn or whatever, but... I do try and get a little bit new stuff in there, I just never quite get the streak going, or whatever. Like, now I'm going to be listening to The Gathering, because I listened to their second record. And what's interesting about their second record is that it has a terrible singer on it, and when I was younger and I was, like, well into their first records, I could never listen to it. I was like, this guy is awful. He's ruining it. And he still does. Totally ruins it. I'm not a big fan of, like, hating on stuff, but, like, I just can't get into it. It's awful. And this time, though, I had the mindset of, like, well, let's focus on the instrumentals behind it. And what I realized is that the record sounds very much like a transition between the one before it and the one after it. And both of those records are 10s for me. They're, like, just some of the best music I've ever heard. And yeah, I'd say their first record always is like a personal 10. It's a really weird, like, symphonic doom metal record with, like, a kind of dingy sound, and I totally get if anyone listened to it and was just like, nah. But for me, I used to listen to it on, like, long walks home from work in the middle of the night. So I used to work, like, night shifts and stuff, and it just had an atmosphere that I really got into. So it's got, like, this really magical, nostalgic vibe to it. There's records like that they just kind of have a bit of personal attachment, you know. There's other records that I would scream from the high hills about, like Emperors in the Nightside Eclipse. I don't think that's, like, just personal. I think there's, like, absolute magic going on in that record. Anyway, so after their first record, they did this second record with a terrible singer. And now that I've listened to it, I'm like, if it didn't have that terrible singer, I would have absolutely eaten this record up. And then their third one is just a 10 out of 10 that I say, like, any metal fan, any fan of something maybe a little bit more on the aggressive side should listen to. Because Aniki, I think her name's pronounced Aniki. It's sort of spelt that way. Her vocals are just sublime, eternally sublime. In fact, recommendation for you. Go onto the YouTubes and search The Gathering Leaves. And leaves as in, you know, you leave a place, like with a V. And her singing on that is just unbelievable. There's just so much, like, youthful beauty in her voice. So much power and conviction. And it really just feels like just a special little moment in time where these musicians created this record. And it's just full of, like, it's like the music's so simple if you understand how to write and compose music. It's like power chords, and like even the plucked chords they play on acoustic guitars are mostly off of power chords. You know, the guitar solos are kind of slow and simple, and like there's nothing like overly complex going on, but they just find a really great chemistry between the way they use the synths. And it draws out like a lot of atmosphere and good vibes, and there's some cool riffs here and there, you know, some chuggy riffs, and yeah, I just adore them. And they're kind of like just one of these like little forgotten bands, really. I don't think if you talk about the history of metal, they would ever really come up much, but they probably should. Becca says, Leaves is amazing, but it'll be Strange Machines for me. I love that track. I love the whole album. Strange Machines, Leaves, and Eleanor are probably the best on that record, or sort of the most notable. I remember me and a mate when we used to go to this local club back when we were, back in sixth form, and like I was like always listening to like obscure weird music, like this Gathering band, like no one's heard of them, but I rave about them. And then they came on in the club and they played the Eleanor song, and it was just like, oh man, like people do know about this band, thank goodness. I'm in a choir. Music is indeed so complexly simple. It's part of what makes it beautiful, says Ren. Yeah, simplicity is often a really great way to enjoy music. I mean, I kind of enjoy anything, right? Like I try and find what's interesting about it, or what I like about it. And complex music, like, you know, prog metal, prog rock, like the fact that it's complex doesn't make it good. You still have to write good music. Whoopsie. I just realised I was using the silk, and then I wanted to silk touch that, and then I accidentally used the wrong pick on it. Whatever. We've got a bit of this now, haven't we? Ah, this record is awesome. Other Side is a good one. The difference in, like, emotions, question mark, between playing and listening to music is so wild, says Failing Nebulae. It is, yeah. It's similar, but yet it's... They're different. They're definitely different. I mean, I get enamored by listening to music, writing it, and playing it. Like, all three of those do it for me. I don't know. Actually, I tell you what, if I had a thought about it, I had an itch to play guitar yesterday. And where I used to just stream with whatever free time that I had. And then recently I've tried to, like, take the pressure off myself a bit and not stream as much and make sure I've got, like, time to be on top of things and do other stuff. And yesterday I had a real itch to play guitar, and if I'd have thought of that, I think I wouldn't have streamed. I would have been playing guitar. I feel like maybe I need to, like, have a list of priorities that I can go look at. So like when that free time, when that moment comes around, it's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. Palm Tree Dude, as a music teacher I could go on forever about music. Same here, really. Same here, just it's always all about music for me. Can you stream playing guitar? I've tried to do it in the past, it doesn't really work for me. Yeah, like, music's very personal as well. I play for myself, you know? I'm not really trying to put on a show with it, I guess. I've uploaded some videos of me playing those, I'm sure most of you know. And those are really fun to do. But like, they put weird pressure on, like, you know, I learn the song, I have so much fun learning it, playing it over and over again. And then comes the time to perform it, and it's like, it's not the same. It's fun, it's cool, I like the fact that I, you know, create a video, remind myself, yeah, I did that, that song, you know, I did that one or whatever. But the performance is like, it's a bit on the stressful side. Shinny says, I tried to learn to play the guitar a few times, but my hands are too small. Maybe get a smaller guitar. Do you prefer playing alone or with other people, says Failing Nebulae. I just play for myself, by myself. I've played with other people briefly before, but it's just always more practical, just, you know, crack on and do what you want to do. Okay, let's bring that one down. Because that's where it would go to. I'm just thinking, like, a TNT duper would probably be a really good shout. To get rid of the deep slate, you know. Maybe we'll break it up a little bit. Maybe we'll dig this thing down to, like, a certain height and then try and TNT dupe the rest. Because, God, now that I say it out loud, I'm like, that just sounds like such a good idea. Because this is an hour's work, right? So, an hour's work, if you double this, it'll probably all come down to -11. Okay? We have to go all the way down to -64. There's no way I'm doing this without a TNT duper, really, is there? Oh my god, this is like incredibly slow. Wow. Wow, I've changed my mind. Okay, we're gonna stick around here for a little bit longer, but I want to use a TNT duper. I don't want to do this anymore. This is painfully slow. Painfully slow. Yeah, I think I might just focus on getting a bit more of this top level dug down to sort of here. Because some of it will at least be a little faster to mine. And then we need like a little bit of space to drop TNT from a duper in anyway. I'm certainly going to end up with a lot of stone materials from all the digging I'm doing this season. That's something to be considered. But why dupe? Just use your gunpowder. I could actually, yeah, I could go mine some sand and do it the proper way. I feel like Mojang need to introduce a TNT dispenser, right, where you feed it gunpowder and it creates some explosions. So then that way you can maneuver and control it with redstone. White Rabbits! Thank you so much for the cheers and biddies, my dude. We also had some subs while I was waffling. Toloff for 3 months, Mad Cow Chow for 29. Any plans for a minigame this season? Well, the one that we will be working on in a minute, if you consider it a minigame, that's one of my plans. I've got other ideas too. I just haven't got to the space where I'm like ready to start working on them yet, but there are ideas for minigames and stuff. I kind of want to also see if we're going to have like a bit of a minigame district emerge or something like that, because it's always nice for what you do to be part of something a little bigger. And that's a good way for that to happen, really. Hey, I've been a big fan of you since you joined Hermitcraft. Keep up the streams and YouTube. Also, it's currently my birthday, and I would really mean a lot if you can add me on Hypixel. I don't really play on there, so it would be pointless me adding you, right? But thank you for the donation. When you say since I joined Hermitcraft, I've been here since day one. Does that mean you've been watching for 10 years? Wow, that's cool. Thank you so much for the donation, dude. Appreciate it. Fastest side says joined Hermitcraft. Yeah, well, that's the language made me go, huh? Like, I technically had to join in the beginning, I guess, but usually people don't say, oh, you know, X joined Hermitcraft, because I was here from day one, so. So there you go. Digging a hole is a mini-game in itself. Now, if I could convince all the other hermits that that were true, then I'd be onto something. Come dig Xisuma's hole, the mini-game. I was thinking of bringing Dig for Hire back this season, and now I know why I shouldn't, because everyone will hire me to do the deep slate digging, which I no longer want to do. Okay, this is not fun. It's slow. I don't see why minecarts for TNT could be expanded. Now they stay together in item form, you could fire them out. I think them staying together in item form doesn't change the game, because if you were to use them, they blow up. So there was never a need to get them back. And you could always deploy them. So I'm not really sure that that changes anything, is what I would say. Digging in Minecraft while listening to music is therapeutic, says Lumpus. I agree, I agree. Oh, Hermits helping Hermits. I would love for Hermits to come over here and dig, but on Monday evening, tomorrow, I'll be busy. Be very busy, so, you know, hey, I mean, if you want to tell the Hermits that they can help me over here, be my guest, but I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. That's cheeky. Good to know. So no stream, says 4Gil. Yeah, no, I won't be able to stream tomorrow. The way things are going, I think it's just going to end up like nestling into a groove of being Saturdays and Tuesdays. I really do like having that element of structure. But I also then get like worried that it changes, and more often than not something comes up and changes it. You know, I'll be doing something on a Tuesday at some point, right? And then I have to, you know, cancel it or whatever. Get out of here, you scamp. Right. Mojang should add a fast deep slate mining enchantment. They should. I don't understand some of Mojang's reasoning sometimes. The beauty of this game tends to be in what you can do with it, and if there's one thing we've seen over time, it's that when you remove restrictions, the game gets more and more interesting. Like, you know, the adding of blocks lets people build more beautiful stuff. To make it easier for them to build beautiful things, you know? And if you want to do something deep down at the bottom of the world, well, now you've got to invest a lot more time because you can't mine quickly. I mean, the difference between instant mine and not is ginormous. Because with instant mine, you can just swing your axe around and move as fast as you like. This way, you're just slow and methodical. Mining is ugh. So yeah, I really do think they made the wrong call there. I mean, if their thinking is like, you know, the bottom of the world's different, this is the place where it's you just go adventuring, but like, oh, there's things in the game where people will need to dig down and they'll want to dig down too. Skyfighter ZX says, here's an idea, making a guild hall where anyone could leave job requests and give a rewards for completing quests, like a fun way to someone to help with random tasks or have some fun. That sounds like a great idea, actually. Again, though, like talking about hermits helping hermits, it sounds almost like, you know, if the HHH crew were to make that, like, it could tie into that. I don't know. Maybe anyone could make that. I could make it. But yeah, like, you know, dig to the bottom of the world and here's a bunch of diamonds. It does sound like a really cool idea, but I think it would just need to fall into that hermits helping hermits umbrella, so that it becomes a part of something. Like I'm not sure you really like what would be the prize like to convince someone to come over here and dig. For me, it would have to be something I really need in the game. And when I need something in the game, I like the opportunity to do it myself. I like to be able to build some farms, get together some infrastructure. So personally, I feel like it wouldn't appeal to me that much. But organizationally, it does sound pretty good if someone wanted to. And so like hermits helping hermits, that's a group of people that want to help. So it feels like it would be best in their hands. As, you know, maybe someone comes in and leaves a HHH request, and then the HHH crew get rewarded. Okay then, must have picked those up in the end dimension, I'm guessing. So in here, yeah, that's all full up. As expected. We're going to have to make some things. I think I'm going to sit down as well now. I've been standing for the beginning of the stream. Another JT, thank you for 59 months, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying some stream. Enjoying some stream, that's what I said. That's what I said. Why is wood not insta yet, says Duality. I don't think wood needs to be. I mean, you can make the case that everything in the game should be instantly mineable, but then you've got to think about why. Like, why is stone instantly mineable? It's because people like to build underground, and it takes a long time to clear out the space. How often do you encounter a giant chunk of wood? Not very often, if at all. Surprise T says, if more freedom is good, why people still play survival instead of creative? Because of the challenge of living in the environment, mastering it, conquer it, building the farms. People don't want to be given everything for free. But it's a sliding scale. You know, why don't we play survival with, block mining speeds where it takes a minute to mine one block? The answer's obvious. So you got to look at, like, what are people trying to do in the game? There are grinds that are fun that people enjoy. There are activities like that, but ultimately you're sort of expressing your creativity through what you build and how you conquer your environment. And mining blocks really slow underground, so it takes a long time to put that thing there that you want to. I don't think that constitutes fun. What was the other thing I was going to do? I need some scaffolding, some rockets. Okay, there's a bit of scaffolding in there. There's rockets here. Actually, I say I need a bit. I actually kind of need a lot of scaffolding right now. Now that'll be the other spot where I've got some. There we go. There we go. I'm fine that I am more proud of what I build in survival than in creative. Yeah, it takes longer, but the effort is worth it when people enjoy my builds. Absolutely. But, the point that I make is that the friction there should be minimized, right? Like, you should be able to do all that cool stuff that takes you time in survival to do. But that shouldn't be, the time it takes should be you figuring out your creativity, you conquering the environment, not like I'm doing right now, like constantly having to search through a bunch of blocks because there's so many in the game, and where's that one that I need, and now, that's the grind. So is digging out this giant hole. Those are the things that, need to be better balanced, in my opinion. Where did we get the coal from? Did I put the coal back? It can just go in this one. Does Minecraft need a Terraria like hard mode, says Iman Slayer. Minecraft, like, its difficulty is a bit, I don't know, nonsensical. I don't know, like, the differences between easy, medium, hard are just difficult to implement due to the nature of the game, right? Somebody says, well, we can always add challenge ourselves if we want. Yeah, so that would chalk it down to, like, customizability, if that's even a word. I really think this game can be, like, heavily customizable for, like, the experience you want to have when playing it. Which it is through data packs and stuff. What do you think is the solution to the inventory problem in Minecraft, says Lumpus? Make stack sizes bigger, make more items stackable, expand the inventory size, add enchantments to shulker boxes to automatically pick up and restock items in your inventory. Those are some of the solutions I would propose. I also think that it would be smart to have less tools on your hotbar. Maybe add an extra hotbar slot. maybe add extra slots that keybind to specific keys, like an ender pearl slot. I mean, it's about a volume of items and then how much space you have to manage all of those. Like we could make Minecraft terrible by reducing the inventory size down to hotbar and 9 slots, right? That we all know that would be awful. So inversely, if we had an extra couple rows of slots, we all know that the game would be a little bit more bearable when collecting items or trying to build with lots of materials. Now, it doesn't solve the problem, like, because there'll always be more blocks being added, but it will change. If you look at it like a ratio in maths, right? Like inventory slots to items in game. The items in game are always going to keep going up with each update, and if the slots stay the same, it will be increasingly more frustrating. If you up the amount of inventory slots, it will be less frustrating, and then there will be more items added, and it will obviously suffer the same strains over time, but in general, it will be much better than it currently is. Searchable inventory, also a great idea, I think. Maybe if you wanted to have like a really large inventory that was more hidden, that you could pinch out items from, that would be sort of one way to do it. And the other thing that I think you need is less tools, and like a different way to place slabs, stairs, fence posts, fence gates. I feel like they should just come from the material, but when you place it down, it gets changed into the different type. That way, you know, one block in your hotbar becomes... I mean, imagine deep slate as one stack. Imagine it as one stack of 99, and yet you can place it as a slab, a full block, a stair block, and you can place it in all those different varieties. You can place them as walls. Think about how much more building you would get done, right? I mean, it could be one of those things that helps... Do you know what? I'm going to get rid of this pillar here and possibly the other one. I'm just going to do that now, because as I fly through, I'm like, yeah, this is not good. Get rid of that straight away. I think it's important not to be like a Minecraft purist, because the game's inventory design is based on, you know, basically an oddity indie game from 2009. And it's barely changed since. And if you want to be smart about creating a game that deals with hundreds upon hundreds of blocks today, you would probably do something different. Like, how many games are trying to recreate Minecraft's inventory system? They're not, because it's not good. Terraria is increasing their stack size by 10 times in the next update. Awesome, that's what Minecraft should do. I know it's iconic, it's classic, 64, it might feel like it's a bit cheaty, but I don't know. To me, it's like, the game, if you want to chalk it up in terms of gameplay design, it's essentially like, how much time are you putting into not playing? How much time are you putting into fishing items in and out of your inventory? Okay, let's continue on the flight. Yeah, this is the way I want players to fly through this area. You do want it to be a bit challenging. I feel like that one, I probably put it a little too far back. It probably needed to come forward a bit. That's the first change we're going to make today. This needs to be like here, I think. So what do we do with that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it started to rise. So we'll make this the bit where it goes up. Oh, and this is why I wanted to use scaffolding a bit more. Limitations are fun, hindrances are annoying, says Iron Slayer. Yeah, that's a way of, I guess, expressing the sliding scale point that I make, right? Like, you can take it too far in one direction. Okay, well, how many blocks we got here? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And then this is where we want to put that. And then maybe 2 blocks out that way. Okay, let's get rid of this. Pick up some of those, take a step back. X, what do you think about opening shulkers within the inventory? Would that feel clunky or a good step forward? If you could do it eloquently, I feel like it would be good, but it's one of those things where you kind of, like, one of the comments I see a lot is like, Minecraft should add a backpack, and I often think, well, that's the shulker box. The shulker box is the backpack. So I feel like, what would it be like, you know? Hover over, tap it with the middle button, drag drop, tap it again. Yeah, it would probably reduce friction a little bit, yeah. But I know why they don't do any of this. I know exactly why. It's because the game has to have parity with Bedrock and Pocket Edition. That's why bundles aren't in the game. It's because they can't make it work on the mobile platform. And I think there's a good argument to make that by making it the same on every platform, they might be holding the game back. Now, we have a little bit of a problem over here. Not only does that there look quirky, we need the player to instinctively know to go to the right, which is not very visible. Because we've set ourselves up with a few different rules here. And it looks like one or two of those rules might get in the way. We wanted to leave that open to have an alternative route. That was weird. Okay, let's get... I didn't want to get rid of that one, but okay. All for one block. Backpacks could just double the inventory size while wearing it. It's super easy, says Toxic Blood. Yeah, but where's it going to go? In this slot here, and then you're not going to be able to fly, and I feel like a backpack, like, why not just double the inventory size, right? Like, I don't feel like a backpack is as good as it sounds, personally. Right, so, when we did this before, we did it with these chunk borders. And I seem to remember commenting that we need to... We need to first of all make the turn into this nice and easy, and then we need to make sure the player doesn't have too much difficulty coming up here. I mean, at the speed I just went through, you can see how challenging this is going to be. Wow, it goes over there, does it? Oh, this update is so cool. So yeah, you can kind of see a bit of our flight path now. Surprise T says screen size is an issue. You can't fit more inventory when you open a double chest. There's ways around it, like width, scroll bars. It's been done in modded. Okay, let's high up the approach again. So you're going to like whiz to about here, and you won't really see it till the last minute. So I feel like it probably needs to be higher than the bottom of this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about here I feel like. Obviously we've got to start somewhere, so we'll start by doing. Can I put that there? I can. Also, this comes like a ways out into the middle of this thing. Possibly not good. Okay, I feel like this might work actually. So that's 1, 2. Right, we'll put that one there, and then let's have like a torch sort of hidden a bit back there. Hopefully that'll catch your eye just enough. The top's a little lower than I thought it would be. Wow, the bottom of it looks terrible. It's because I sort of changed as I was going along, I guess. Hmm. Okay, okay. X, which movie did you end up watching yesterday? A rubbish one. I kind of knew I wasn't in the mood for a movie. I've been like that lately. I think I'm just kind of a bit over the whole zoning out on watching movies thing. And I tried to watch like 2 movies. One of them is June. And then when I saw Picard in it, I was like, oh god, I've seen this before. I don't want to watch it now. The original June. And, it wasn't really like decision anxiety or anything like that. It was just, don't think I was really that in the mood for it. And I was looking through my little watch list and I was thinking of all the cool movies I've watched recently, and I don't really like have anything I'm that enthusiastic about watching. So I don't think I'm going to bother like scheduling anything until there's like a really cool movie that I want to see. And that's fine, you know? That's fine, isn't it? Hey, hey, hey! You've come to make my day, haven't you? David Lynch's Dune is awesome, one of my faves, says Eldons. I imagine if I got into it at a certain point in the past I'd like it, but it just, I don't know, just didn't do it for me. Oh. Did the dog like it at least? How's the dog sitting? The dog sitting was fine. Harry's a lovely little dog. He's very sweet. And likes to lick my nose. So, I guess first time you go around, that's probably going to be like a really annoying one where you're like, I don't know where to go. But that's probably, sticking to the layout, that's kind of it really. Also, this bit here looks a bit awful. Ah, that's what you get, you silly bat. Okay, so where are we now? This one's sort of on that edge, then we got one here. I think we're going to have to wing it a bit in terms of spacing them out, just do what feels right. We kind of want to keep the height sort of similar, really. Maybe actually have it go higher as we go along. Yeah, I think we need it just to go up a little bit each time. Which is probably here. So potentially like 1, 2, 3, and then the one that goes up. Which would make it like that, wouldn't it? We got noises in the air. 10 minutes ago, a donation here. I was totally zoned out. I apologise. Chase saying the beauty of this game is that people can play it however they want. I don't like TNT duping, but I like the grind. That is just my opinion, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. Absolutely right. Great attitude, yeah. Thank you, Chase, for the donation, dude. Yeah, I think, interpreting the game how you want to play it is one of its strengths. And we've seen Mojang open it up to more customization, which is great. And the community too has responded to that. There used to be a lot of purism around Minecraft, and I'm glad to see it's faded a lot over time. Okay, so then it's like boom, boom, and then the top bit starts. Which I can kind of do like that. Not really sure if that helps the way... No, it doesn't really help. Okay, so are there 2 blocks here? I'm going to sneeze, I'm going to sneeze. Oof. Chase, thank you for the donation. We got Sean M, 355 here for 2 months. T Theory with the Prime, and LYIYILL converting a Prime Gaming sub. Thank you so much for using the Amazon Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for the blessings in chat. I am Slayer says X. If you had to make a new YouTube channel, what would it be about? Oh, I don't know. If I were forced, you can't make Minecraft videos. You have to make something else. I'd probably start like a edutainment channel. That would pretty much be it. Because that's the thing though. I really enjoy edutainment. Doesn't necessarily mean that I would enjoy making it or be good at it, but my gut feeling is that I would enjoy it. So if I had to, like, I would probably put a fair bet on that being something that I would like. Right, hopefully that gives most of the scaffolding. I think I'm also going to punch out the torches down here, so you have more of like a ride across some darkness for a narrow ravine. Be pretty cool. Alright, so we know the way. Woo! Okay, yeah, they definitely come a little quicker here, but that could be good as long as we just keep the thing. The thing! Yeah, keep the thing, X. So I'm going to put my next one about here-ish. Right. Feel like we might be one. I'm gonna go just one extra anyway. Need a torch. So we need that 1, 2. Is it there? 1, 2, 3. It's definitely in line. I feel like it would ideally be 1 block further back, but okay. So what I think I might do here is leave that little bit in and just see if it looks weird or not. Probably looks weird. Put a torch there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how did we do this before? We went up above. Yeah, okay, I know what to do. Actually, I might be getting it wrong. It might need to be like that. And if you look at it, it looks like it's going to come up to roughly around the right height too, which is good. Paladu Plays, thank you for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the stream, my dude. Yeah, then 2 here and then the 1. Oh! We're going to lose so much scaffolding while we do this. Did I put a torch up there? I think I did. Ah. No, you don't. No, you don't, good sir. Not today. I think fitness and health is good for you, says El Manaman. Do you now? That's interesting, because I think it's terrible for you. Also, don't breathe air. Don't drink water. God. What are you doing? Hydration. We need it. Right. What are you doing? I'm drinking water. Health is good for you now, says Elderness? Apparently. God, this Joker thinks it is. People who drink water also die, so yeah, that is a good point. Oh. That everyone who drinks water dies. Therefore, water bad, right? That's how that works. Well, that's kind of cool, actually. And then 1 more and you're sort of up to the corner. I feel like the light actually helps you. This looked awful, by the way. These extra bone blocks at the bottom didn't like it. That little bit of scaffolding will have to stay. Right, so the next one's going to go somewhere here-ish. Art of Bong says, I'm learning so much today. I hope you are. Oh, wow, it's like up there. So this all should have been a bit steeper. I don't really want to do too much rework in here. So if I went back and went 1 up, like 3, 4, it's quite a bit of work to adjust all this, isn't it? Maybe I can get away with it. We'll build the bottom bit and just see what it feels like, right? So you got that there. This here. 1, 2, 3, and then Thor. There's actually... I think I'm gonna... Oh. Ah. Shimmy it over to there, right? Oh, hello. Are you looking for something? What are you doing on that one block? Bye! Well, that'll come back to haunt me, I'm sure. So we would go like that, right? That's the shape. So it would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you got this one and that one. See if we can build out the next bit. Uh-huh. Cool, need a torch somewhere up the top here. Yeah, look at that. That tells you already this is wrong. This one needs to be like up here, so yeah, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to rebuild all of these, aren't I? That's actually surprisingly better than I'd thought, but I think you need to bring them up here so they can see where the next one is, right? So, maybe we'll have two close together and put one sort of here-ish. Oh, I thought it was going to fall down then. That won't be so bad, will it? And then this is kind of around the top area. We can do it. Hey X, what if you use the lighting to direct hermits through, make the cave dim overall and where you want to go? That's a great idea. I'm actually going to do that here because we're going to remove the torches off the floor. I think maybe we just do it where it's necessary. Like, we don't have to make everything super strict and uniform all the time. So when it's apt, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, so looking at how much this comes up, this one really has to change here, doesn't it? So if I raise this one by like 5 blocks, then I could raise that one 4, 3, and 2, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with 4 blocks up here. Whoopsie. It's a good thing I brought a lot of scaffolding with me, right? I just can't place them. Scaffolding can be quite annoying to place sometimes, can't it? Okay, so it's like 1, 2. Now, can't go any higher. So there's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's actually correct. It would end up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it is. There you go. Cool. There's like a technique to building this, isn't there? And we're probably going to lose a ton of scaffolding on the way down. Let's F3B this one, see if we can pick up as much as possible. Also, I should be shooting you. Ka-cha! You cause trouble. Ah! All the blocks, they will be mine. I finished watching... What's this message here? Roadsteading says, I was a pirate radio personality in the 90s and ended up feeling very uncomfortable with fan interactions. Folks added a message levity by attaching personal trauma, like I love your show, it got me through trauma. Or something like that. It made me feel like I was being put in a position of unpaid therapist and maybe even helping people rationalize not getting help. I'm thinking about streaming and I see it a lot and I'm not sure how to avoid fans sending me nightmare fuel all the time. I find your reaction to the observation of what's happening there interesting, but I think your observation is certainly acute. It's something that I've tried to handle diligently and just tried to give the best response I can to. I wouldn't say what you just said so bluntly like that, but it's like, it's hard to deny it that when we do that, it is what you said, like attaching one's own trauma to another person. And like, if I were to meet someone like famous, or someone whose music I really adored, or some YouTuber that I really like, I would have that same sort of impulse to want to be like Henry Rollins would be a great example, because that guy just, you know, helped me through like a really like difficult transition that I'm forever thankful that I found his words at that time, kind of thing, right? But if I were to bump into him and meet him saying, I wouldn't even mention it. I feel like it's a real strong impulse to want to say that to someone, but having had the experience of the flip side, I realized that it's a weird thing to have it said to you, because it's sort of like it's not your business in a weird way, like very, very hard to articulate. So yeah, I wouldn't, and like, you got to think like there's people in your life that have done so much more for you than someone who's like a personality of interest ever could do, right? Because really, you're the one figuring stuff out. You just found someone who was saying the right words. But when it comes to other fundamentals, like, you know, your family members that are there for you no matter what and take care of you, and there's like a lot IRL that you probably might take for granted over essentially a stranger who just said a bunch of words that resonated with you. It's a very interesting dynamic, and it's very easy to be like attached to these personalities that actually aren't a part of your life and that you don't really interact with. You get to interact with them on your own terms, at your own time. And yeah, like, I wouldn't have expressed it quite the same way as you have there, but can't exactly fault what you've observed. It's a very, very peculiar thing, the old parasocial relationship. I mean, I've been talking about it like it's a new thing, but really it's been around for a long time, right? Egalagus says, I have left communities where people dump like that all the time. It feels weird to be around. Yeah, people can go into communities looking for help. But the thing is, you got to remember, like, some people want to help when they're inside of communities too. Like, I've seen, when I've been more active in my own extended community, I've seen people come in looking for help. And, like, there are people that want to help, right? It's interesting that someone's take on it might be like, that's not my job, go to a therapist. But I totally get the point you made anyway. So much scaffolding lost. Maybe. It's kind of designed that way, right? Like, you don't have to worry about it too much. So yeah, it's a really weird thing. How different are your relationships with people in IRL to some voice on the internet that said a bunch of stuff that, you know, was useful to you at a point in time? It's really interesting how one can, like, be so attached to that. Dang, that was sick. I was thinking we might not need to modify it anymore, and that felt really good going through that, so we'll stick with that. Right, we're going to punch out all of these now. Going to embrace the darkness over here. Maybe get a few scaffolding back. I don't think we actually lost that much. I got the F3B on, so we should see most of it. Curse10 says, I think it stems from being hard to talk to people you know because you fear being judged. It's easier to say it in person who knows nothing about you and can't judge you. I think the intent is to let the content creators know they're appreciated, says Curse10. Well, the last thing you said, I think, is the important thing, which is that, like, as I said, that other person expressed that viewpoint quite candidly and abashed, and I don't do that because I always try and, like, seek some form of positivity. and look for what is good about it. And essentially, yeah, someone is appreciating you, right? Like, it might be a strange way in which it takes place, but it is ultimately something, there is something positive there. It just maybe manifests a little oddly. What was the other part of the point? Yeah, and I think it's less about it being hard for you to talk. I think it's the fact that you don't do the talking that helps, because, like, the other person can propose ideas that you don't have to put up a defense about. Like, I've heard a lot of the Henry Rollins stuff is like kicking your own ass. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself, and like, you know, like sort of putting you back in reality. When it comes to having a like negative mindset, and some of the things that you can hear in that context, you might get upset if someone said it to you IRL. There's that too, you know. You can propose ideas, I think, and people will not be actually in the conversation, can't butt in, and therefore probably pay better attention to the ideas being expressed because they're not thinking about what they're going to say, right? That's actually probably very true of me and my experience of listening to podcasts and stuff. It's like, I've heard all these alternative ideas, and a big part of it is that I don't think about saying something back to it. Like, if I think back to having discussions when I was younger about anything political or social like that, you're always like, someone says something, then you rebuke it, and you go back and forth. But like, when you listen to a podcast, you don't do that because there is no rebuttal. And then I think maybe it just gives you like a deeper sense of what's being said, because you're maybe giving it just more of your time without even realizing it, you know? That's what it feels like to me. Henry Rollins is awesome. Don't think about it, do it, says Eldens. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that kind of statement that he said has changed for me over time. I think, like, initially statements like that helped me do the things I needed to do. And now as I look at it over time, I sort of see it as like, thinking's like in the way a lot of the time, right? Like, you'll think yourself out of doing stuff. And if you turn off the act of thinking, like, sometimes it itself is just the problem. Just thinking too much. Just do that thing. Yeah, it's great. Right, I think about now... Oh god, it's getting dark in here. We might need some more illumination in this area, specifically for the dripstones themselves, just so you can actually see them. And I am sort of trying to like hide the torches a little bit. So that's the next part of the course, right? So I feel like the next one probably wants to be diagonal about here. Huh. Might help us get back on the grid a little as well. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that in there, and then we go do our 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, I've sort of created a little bit of a uniform thing here, because we never actually had a rule that it had to be 5, but we do now. It might be a good idea to look up a bit as well and just see what's like next. We've avoided some dripstone here. Oh yeah, put a torch down there. We haven't avoided that one. Joe Dragon says, I rarely at this point tell anyone if I feel like things are wrong, because I've so often had people respond badly to me just wanting to vent out a bad day at work. I'm also told my issues aren't that bad and to stop whining. Just because they aren't bad to one person doesn't mean it doesn't bother me. So now I just keep stuff to myself because it's not worth having troubles belittled yet again. It sounds to me like a problem of people not like knowing how to listen, which is something that I'm guilty of and trying to work on. I really like this channel called The School of Life, where they teach you like little life lessons on relationships and communication. And so often do many of like my ideas of this thing or that thing get challenged on there. And one of them is about like listening to people when they like reach out for help. think it's very easy to just try and be pragmatic and offer solutions, or like offer a mindset of it's not so bad, but really what sometimes people just want is to be listened to and to get something off their chest. So like when people tell you it's not that bad, or don't worry about it kind of thing, sometimes it's just maybe them trying to be pragmatic, whereas what you really want is just to be listened to. It's an interesting thing. Xisuma, I understand streamers etc. issues with someone that thank them for help etc. But wanting to be grateful is also a good thing that should not be discouraged. Yeah, totally, Becca. Totally. You know, always with these discussions, there's so many ways of looking at them, right? And maybe I get a bit bogged down in like one side of looking at it. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I've always taken these things in a positive stride. Like, in my mind, it's like you can find something negative about this, but then, you know, you can then be looking over all the positives that come out of this experience, and there's been a lot of positives that I'm very thankful for. So, personally, like, I can see the issues with it, the problems that can stem from it, but, you know, if someone's gonna say, I love your videos and what you do and stuff, I'm just gonna be thankful for that, right? That's my personal take on it. It's just like, you know, count your blessings kind of thing. You can look at it in many different ways, and all those different ways will have positives and negatives. And so, if there's nothing, you know, truly alarming or terrifying in the negatives, let's focus on the positives. And I do think generally, like, parasocial relationships that go unrealized, you know, when you're sort of living on autopilot and you don't perhaps assess yourself, when you don't have that kind of means of paying attention to yourself, then yeah, definitely there can be some issues and problems that could potentially arise. But with the knowledge of it, understanding of what a parasocial relationship is and all that, then I think for the most part, you know, it can be navigated well. I feel like I might be making a mistake at the moment by doing this kind of like keeping it the same shape each time. Maybe. Wow, hey, it opens up big time here. This is where I feel like we might need to go in with some glow lichen and just sort of put them around to ambiently light up the caves and kind of give whoever's flying through like a bigger sense of what's going on. So I feel like the next one really does just need to be right here, doesn't it? And then after that, I don't really know where we're going. I'm assuming in that direction. Ka-cha! Don't explode! Ka-cha again. First time I've tuned into X's streamed, I've learned more in 3 minutes than I have 3 years spent in college. I mean, I imagine in college you learned about different sort of topics though, right? Okay, let's put it right here, I think. X, why are you playing with the chunk borders on? They help give me a sense of how to spread these out, right? Like the distance. Get a better feel for how far apart they are from one another. Yeah, this one I'm going to have hug the wall like we did in the past. I feel like we should do that again. It would be interesting to study the expectations that people have when they sharing stuff like that in these platforms. Maybe they didn't even seek help, or maybe they do. It's hard to know, says Shinny. Yeah, sometimes people sort of just reach out because they want some attention. That's something that winds me up a little bit when I see people, you know, expressing some form of distress or difficulty that they're going through, and then someone says, like, you know, you're just looking for attention or whatever, and it's like, well, yeah, sometimes that's what you need when you go through something difficult, right? Like, you need some help, you need some attention. Like, it's one of those things that's perhaps like, I don't know if boogeyman is the right term, or just, you know, seen incorrectly. Like, needing attention is is potentially, you know, something that you really need, depending on whatever you're going through. Right, I didn't put a torch up there, did I? And then after this, I think we need the camera account. Oh god, the baddies are here. Bad baddies. Woo! Yeah, once you get to know this course, it's just going to be so much fun. Okay, so... Oh, bit of a tight one. Yeah, that's always just going to be not quite super smooth. Coming through here will be a bit of a challenge. And then we're going to direct them off in this direction, it would seem. Ow! Right, I'm going to hope that this is a safe spot while we fire up the camera account. Camera accounts, camera accounts. This is a song about a camera account. If you hit a dripstone at an angle, does it kill you if you were to land on top of it? Yeah, it might be possible to get hit and die through here. Who knows? Needing attention is a human thing. Searching for it in the wrong places can lead you down a wrong path, however, says G-Stab. Yeah, potentially, yeah. I mean, like, but you can find good things in the wrong places. Like, some people will say going to a Discord community isn't the right place, and I'm not sure I'd agree with that. It's like the political stuff we were talking about earlier. So much stuff to me feels more nuanced, where it's like, don't make a rule about this thing or that thing, but look at the individual situation. And if you do properly look at all the individual situations, sometimes you might notice a trend or a pattern, like, hey, this is bad every single time. But I don't know if anyone's done that. Right, let's get up in here and enable... Oh no, don't enable it, let's spoil it. Oh my god, I almost spoiled so much stuff. Oh, god, that would have been derp of the year. I would have spoiled. You wouldn't have been able to watch the next episode of Hermitcraft. You'd have been like, I saw a split second of that from a weird angle on Xisuma's stream. Therefore, I'm unsubscribing and never watching his videos again because I've already seen it. That's what you would have done. Anyway, let's trigger ye old night vision from back in the medieval Minecraft days. This one should probably be a little bit lower, maybe. Yeah, so it's hugging the right wall all the way around. All the way down. Oh my goodness me, it's going to be so cool, this bit. Through here. And then when we get to this bit, not only is it going to be terrifying, I'm going to need fire potions. I don't even know what the plan is after this. Maybe you keep going around at this height here. Oh my days, it could go anywhere. So then it comes this way. Wow, it kind of looks like there's some amazing terrain there. So you're going through this tight now. Oh, we're going to get so many diamonds on this, aren't we? It looks like there might be some more multiple choice. Oh wow, it could come back across. That would be really cool. We could get rid of some water here. Oh, and then up into this space. Dang. I don't think I need to look that or down there. I don't think I need to look that far ahead, but one thing I do want to do, I've been thinking about... Okay, I know where my base is. My base is a long way over in that direction. I have been considering this thing could come as far as my base. So I might invest a little bit of time in seeing, like, where does this go? If there's one that sort of heads eventually directly to my base, which I don't want to show right now, it would be a really long way, but dang. I mean... It's somewhere over there. I think it's probably too far, realistically. It's probably realistically too far. I mean, how much have we done in, like, 3 hours worth of work, probably? A bit less than that. Like, quite a bit. I could probably space them out a little bit more, might help too. Yeah, so there's a possibility that this thing over time could stretch from from like the shopping area over to my base, basically. And when it comes to getting to the shopping area, it's going to take a fair bit of strategizing and figuring out. But I like how much there is going this way. Also, What's going on here? What's that? That's a thing. That's a thing. Feels like you've secretly been working on your base for a while. Do I smell another episode, says G-Stab. I didn't consider packaging it up like that, but no. At the end of the next episode, you'll just see what I've been doing. And you'll be like, okay, like that takes you a lot of time to place all those blocks, but it's cool. I just wanted to kind of like jump a bit more to the end product, I guess. Yeah, this is really, really great project. I definitely feel like the bones here just kind of ended up getting squashed together a little bit. So let's go put the next one like here as a reminder just to like spread the next one out because they all got stuck together. Am I almost out of wheat as well? Dang, I'm almost out of food. And there's loads of baddies. There's loads of baddies in this cave now. Maybe I'll yeah, I think I'll leave it actually because I need to go grab some food. Huh. Ooh. Yeah. This might just be the coolest way ever to like get around the... Oh, imagine if we'd have thought of that, like a transport system through Hermitcraft that was just flying underground through caves. And then like having like a coded system, you know, follow the... Oh, I need slimes. Follow this thing till you get over there. And then look for the blue line instead of the bone line. Okay, hang on a second. I've got to do this right. Got to do this right. Maximum profits must be made. Ah. Ah. Right, there we go. I just realised something else that I need to do as well. So I'm going to turn around for a minute here. Whoops. Also, let's catch up on those noises in the... God, I'm so far behind them. Let's pick that up too. When did I last read one? I feel like I'm so far behind, it's disgraceful. I'm like 40 minutes behind. Oh, goodness me, I'm so sorry, everyone. Sean M, thank you for subscribing. T-Theory, Haladu Plays, Holes137, thank you for 6 months. We've got MB Menace here for 5. I am the only trash can here with the Prime. Thanko7 with the Prime. Thank you for using those Amazon Prime subscriptions on me. Appreciate it. We also had cheers and biddies from Evola9 and Duality4Y with a message saying, what was that channel called again you mentioned? I don't know. I'm sorry. Thank you for the cheers and biddies though. What channel did I talk about? I don't know. Dang, yeah, we started off by having these things sort of follow the shape of the cave a lot more. Like, way more. Then we sort of fell into something a little different just there, and it's hasn't quite returned to how it was. But that's fine. Okay, that's F3B. Uh-huh. What looks better? Probably zoomed out more. Because we are here in those dripstone caves. Let's zoom a little less. Okay, that's my thumbnail. That's what I was doing. I just wanted to get some dripstone action here. Dang, I might not get back safe and sound because I am out of food. I guess I got the rotted fresh if I need it. The rotted fresh if I really need it. I mean, what a mistake, you know, rotted fresh. Is it rotted? Is it fresh? I'm very confused. Woo, this is really fun. It's like endlessly fun. Dang. Oh, that's so cool. At some point, I'll have to make a replay mod edit. But by the way, that's something I've always wanted, right? Like, when I use replay mod, I have to be kind of economic with my time. I would love to have a replay mod editor. If anyone out there is like really experienced with replay mod and has like a portfolio of time lapses and wants to collaborate in some way, tweet at me, yo. I need a... Oh, School of Life was the channel I mentioned. Yeah, look for the channel School of Life. Yeah, I need a replay mod editor, because if I could hand it over to someone who's got the time and the resources to make really cool time lapses, like when you try and do something like follow the player through caves, oh my god, it's like all of the different positions of the camera, they interact with like future ones, and it can be real tricky to make that look good. And yeah, you noticed how the frames are like really shaky around here? I don't know what is going on, because we tried to do some cleanup the other day, right? But like, it keeps getting really bad in this area. I don't know if someone's done a prank and there's some new thing, but we like tried removing a bunch of entities, item frames. Ooh. Aha! I've landed. I mean, now that I'm... No! Not phantoms. Now that I'm here, it feels a little smoother. Why so bad in there? Minecraft can be pretty mysterious, can't it? It does feel like it's facing my base that's a problem. I turned off my iron farm. I don't need that running for a minute. I noticed my bees were acting a bit strange, but look, they're not even out. Right, no creepers are allowed to follow me in here. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's very, very good. I need to keep restocking this over and over again. And potentially get more bottles would be a good idea. Huh? I can actually put them in either side. And this side's probably better. Cool, that'll mean that I'll just put them in there. That'll mean I'll keep getting more and more honey out of this thing, right? I think the frame rate dropping might be actually caused by the builds themselves. It's always mysterious, but like as soon as I'm here, now it's choppy again. It's like, what's going on? No visitors. It's not visiting time. Yeah, look at that, rude. There is a video on the Xisuma Says that changed my life called Finding My Way Out of Racism. I'm really grateful for that video. At the time I watched it, I was dealing with internalized homophobia, and the things X said in that video really helped me. Thank you, Xisuma. You're a really awesome dude. Great Dark Shock. I'm so glad that that helped you in some way. It's always terrific to hear that. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear it too. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I would like to talk about that more, but we kind of reached, you know, the end of the stream time right here. I need to go look for someone to raid. Oh, we got to do a raid. Who shall we raid? Let's raid Slice Lime. I haven't raided Slice in some time. Anyway, big thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. I appreciate all of your support. Big thanks to my mods, my patrons, and all the peeps gifting subs. Y'all are appreciated. The raid is ready for you in chat, so be sure to hit the follow button, then hit the raid button, and say hello to Sliced, who looks like he's doing some sort of programming-y Minecraft stuff. I don't know. Anyways, that's it. Thank you ever so much, everyone. Take care.